Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am blessed to be here with my
Mm,
good friend. She is ready to go. This is technology in primary classroom. I'm going to give her a minute to introduce herself, and it is all yours. Have a great session.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Technology in the Primary Classroom. I am so excited for you guys to be here. This is the first presentation on your list today, and you decided to celebrate or be with me. So I'm going to take it as a celebration. So let's get into it. All right. So this is how I feel right now, but I'm going to calm down in a little bit. I promise you guys. We are in this new unprecedented time where we're doing trainings virtually. And as I try to calm my body down and my mind down, I know a lot of us are feeling like this because we don't know what's going on with the virus. We're just learning as we're going. But guys, we're in this together. And for people that are like this, I'm going to have some I call them sprinkles of quotes throughout my presentation that will help us um, speak some inspiration back into ourselves. Okay, guys? So I promise I'm going to not be like that person, and I'm going to try to stay focused. So let's get started. Whew, here's our first one, guys. Be patient with yourself. And let's get started. So, some housekeeping. This is being streamed, this is being recorded, and it's going to go on YouTube. Please, we're going to be using that chat. So, I'm not going to be looking at the chat. I have my wonderful moderator. She's going to be looking at the chat to answer any questions that you may have. I'm also going to turn off my phone so I'm not getting any dings. So, I do apologize for that. But we are going to take a quick little questionnaire. If you can type that in your phone or another device that you're not looking at, it's just going to ask where or what kind of environment are you teaching in, or where are your students receiving their instruction? That's the question. So if your students are in a hybrid format, are they face to face? Are they virtual? I would like to know. So I'm going to give you guys just a couple of seconds and then we're going to look at those results. Okay. Let's see. All right. So I'm going to go and look at those results. You can keep going if you haven't done that yet, but let's see. Let's see. All right. We have some people who are still answering. Okay. We have both face to face and virtual. Let me go back and I'm going to put the link back up. It's just a bit.ly/technology in the primary classroom, all lowercase letters. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All righty. So let's go back and look at those results. All right. Okay. I see some face to face, some hybrid. Oh, you synchronous people, God bless you. Bless you, especially in primary. All right, I'm a virtual teacher. Okay, let's go back to the presentation. I'm gonna close those just so that I don't get a little lost. All right, so I'm gonna introduce myself now. My name is Miyaka Griffith, and I'm an early childhood special ed teacher here in Aldine. If you're not from Aldine, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are from a different state, a different country, my heart is exploding with love because that's exciting. Please follow me on Twitter. Sometimes I tweet some little videos that I'm doing, and I might give you some like little tidbits here and there that I've learned. But yeah, welcome, welcome, guys. So let's get started with our table of contents. So in this presentation, I'm going to talk to you guys about preparation, about procedures, strategies, and then we're going to just tie everything up in a pretty little bow and get ready to go to our next presentation, okay? I'm the kind of person where I need to have a routine because if I don't know what's going on, then how am I going to be able to teach my students? And since I'm a special ed student, I mean, a special ed teacher, and my students are even, they're 3 years old, I have to be even more organized, right? So I just want to think, I want to give you guys some tidbits that will help you organize your thought process when you're thinking about using technology in your classroom. Okay. So, first, we're going to talk about the preparation. Since I am a special ed teacher, I always have like some kind of goal or something that I'm working uh, towards. And my goals for you guys are by the end of this training, I want y'all to remember the importance of preparation, plan to use some procedures, and be excited at least one strategy that I share. All right. So, in preparation, we're going to talk about inventory, and we're going to have some list of questions that you can just think to yourself and help you as you plan those procedures. So, this is a wonderful classroom that I found on one of those. I can't think of the website right now because I'm real excited, but I mean, wouldn't you want to have this classroom? It's beautiful. I would want to be in the little green area just to relax before my students come in. But some of us might not have such a beautiful classroom. Whenever we first start, we might walk into a classroom and then you see closets on the back of the wall. And what's the first thing that you do? Do you just walk around? You might do that, but then eventually you go into those closets and you take the stuff out and you try to figure out what is this stuff, right? You, for me, whenever I got my first classroom, I looked through everything and I tried to see what pieces were missing. I tried to figure out if something was out of place. You know, everyone has that basket in their closet that's like, I don't know where these belong. And I had that basket, so I had tried to organize that. So that, I mean, it took me a long time to get used to what I had, right? Now, when you're using technology in the classroom, it's kind of the same type of thing, except if you're not comfortable with it, it might be a little bit nerve wracking, right? So, first, I want you to think about the devices that you have in your classroom. Think about your other equipment you might have. You might have a Promethean board. You might have some kind of, if I was in my classroom, it would be right behind me right now, my Promethean board. You might have a projector, a document camera. Just think about those, right? Think about if you have a class set of Chromebooks or iPads, have you ever gone through each one of those and seen what kind of apps are on there? Have you ever tried to think about, are they operating on the correct or the most up-to-date operating system? You know, it takes a while, but at the same time, you're getting you're getting more comfortable with those devices, especially if you have a fear. So I highly encourage you to do that. Now, since we are in this new, I don't want to say new normal, but this new reality where we do have students continuing their learning at home, we have to now think about what's going on in the household in regards to the device. I know some households might have maybe a couple of kids and they might only have two devices. So your primary student might be using a phone, right? So if we have those situations, then we need to have those conversations with the parents and figuring out, okay, I want to help you. I want to make sure that your student is going to get the best education possible for this year. You know, we have to make sure that your devices are, up to date, because sometimes you might be doing something and you might not get the full experience if the device isn't up to date, but I'll help you with that. In the classroom, if you do have your devices, and sometimes we might allow our students to listen to something. Are you using headphones? What's your procedure there? So other questions that I think would be really beneficial would be, what do your students have access at home that goes to your applications and also other equipment? How do you plan on using technology in your classroom? Do you plan on using it for instruction, which is my goal, or as a break, which is good, but we're going to get to the instruction part? Or how do you plan on introducing technology in your classroom? I've spoken with some teachers, and it's scary because there's so many devices and the kids are little. So you have that apprehension. You're just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do it. They're too little. You'd be surprised. I've seen toddlers coming out the womb just swiping. No, I'm just joking. So now I want to think about this wonderful man, Harry Wong. In the chat, real quick, how many of you guys have ever heard of Harry Wong? Anyone in the chat want to say yes or no if you've ever heard of Harry Wong before? He is the guru to classroom management. And I found this wonderful quote that he is famous for: the effective teacher spent time organizing and structuring their classrooms so that students knew what to do to succeed. Now, think about that in your classroom. Awesome. That's great. I just, my comments are slowly loading, but thank you all for participating. Yes. So, using that mind frame, we're going to now go into procedures for our primary students. We're going to talk about device management, and then I'm going to get into the meat and potatoes, which is instruction. Okay. So part of me being a virtual teacher, I have a lot of things that I cannot control. I can't control what time the student wakes up at home. I can't control that. However, I can control how I deliver my lesson to that student. So I can utilize the same strategies that I'm using in the classroom virtually. I can do that. So public service announcement. I highly encourage you guys to still encourage your students to use those procedures, especially in regards to device management, having them sanitize their device. They might not even think about it, but it will help them in their transition back to face, if that makes any sense. So I'm just encouraging you guys to teach procedures and routines across the environment, regardless if they are virtual or if they're face to face, just so that when they are back face to face, they're not so confused or lost. So here's some more food for thought. Device management is really important. Charging that device. If you have an iPad and you just give it to a toddler or you give it to a primary student, sometimes they might just be, opening up every application. I know I have that happening in my classroom. And if you don't actually on the iPad, swipe up and close them, they're still running, and that will run the battery down. So if you have, like, let's say 2 classes, a morning class and the afternoon class, and Johnny in the afternoon class really likes or works really well with the iPad, but it's already dead, you get where I'm coming from? Having a plan put in place can kind of prevent that. So I want you to think and imagine your classroom. Imagine that you are a face-to-face teacher. How do you want your classroom to run with devices? Because we're going to be using our devices, right? We're going to use them. Imagine that when you walk in, how do you want them to be interacting? Are the devices already on the tables or their desk when they are coming in, or are you expecting them to go get it from the charging cart or a specific area? Now we have to think about COVID now, right? Having all the students go and getting them, is that the best solution, or should they already be on the table? That's one thing. Second thing, it's if you don't have a one-to-one device opportunity in your classroom, if you only have, let's say, 5 and you have 15 kids in your class, just because you only have 5, that doesn't mean that you can't use them. It's just now thinking about what kind of procedure am I going to put in place. And also, we're going to talk about having our student logins readily available. So here's something that I found when I was just researching this. The first thing is if you don't have the one-to-one, coming up with a group system. Your students might not be sitting in a group, but if you color code them or number them and then teach them that procedure, like, on Monday, number 1 is going to use, all my number 1s are going to use the device from their color groups, right? And then on Tuesday for this week, it's going to be number 2. And I'll show you what I'm talking about in just a second. At the end of this presentation, I'm going to give y'all a bit.ly link that will give you a copy of this presentation. So here's something that I created for you guys for our time together. This is something you can print out, download, print out. You can move things around if you want to. These are just your group. So this is your tablet. You can always use a Chromebook image if you need that. And then here's the system that I'm talking about. So you have your red group, your orange group, and your yellow group. And each student has their number. And then you have number one. All your number ones are going to use the iPad on Monday, on for this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on. This can be used in a flip chart. And then on Friday, you would then move the numbers. So then it would go 3, 1, 2, 1, or 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. You get where I'm going from? I mean, coming from. So, and then when you would teach this, you would revisit this part of your calendar if you're a face-to-face teacher. Um, I would still, show the system to my virtual students just so that they're familiar. All right. Another thing, student login information. I know some people have, they might have them on a ring, but I also like to have them in a paper form just so that it's easier for me to grab them if I can't find that ring with all their login information. Here in some places, you have to use certain information to create their username and password, right? So I just created a little table, and again, you're going to get this that has the student name and their ID number, just their birth date and the username and password. If you scroll down, there's another table on there that has a little bit more information, but this is just a tool for you to use in case you need it. Now let's talk about badges, okay? So a lot of our students are not able to type right now, and that's okay, right? So we can create QR codes. If you are one of those campuses or districts that use Clever badges, you can download the QR code and then paste it into this document right here. This is also in a Google Slide presentation. So the way that this works, where it says type here, sorry, it's not angry with me right now, you would just delete here and then type your student's name. Where it says student name, you would then delete that part and then type your student's name. Okay. If you all aren't using iPads, that's okay. I have one for Chromebooks right here. And then see where it says the QR code here or picture, you can just delete that and then put the QR code right there. And it's real simple to duplicate. You can right click and then duplicate the slide as many times as you need, and it's there for you, okay? So I'm gonna give that to you guys. I didn't add a lot of different colors and things for that because y'all can spruce it up with whatever theme you have in your classroom if you would like to use that badge. The next thing I'm gonna show you guys is just, we're still talking about device management. These are just some rules that I found on Teachers Pay Teachers. It's always good to have visuals in a primary classroom, just reminders. They're free, so you can grab that. I don't know the person that made it, so hopefully we'll give them some great free business. So if someone hasn't told you today, you look good and thank you for being you. Go ahead and give yourself a pat on the back because it's always good to feel good, right? All right, so now we're going to talk about instruction. And my goal is not to overwhelm you. I want you guys, when you're thinking or you're listening to some of these strategies and with the procedures and other strategies that I share, I want you guys to just think about your classroom and think about what's best for you. Make sure that it adds value. Whatever you're using in your classroom, it needs to add value. Keep it simple. We are primary, our kids are little, their attention spans are short, so we need to keep it simple. The first thing I want y'all to think about is your classroom management system. What is it? Do you have any kind of technology embedded in your classroom management system? And then also communication. Now, how many of you guys either still use it or you used to use, journals, those like little notes, right? And you would send them home and then the parent would have to sign. Well, guys, there are some solutions that use technology for that. So I'm going to share that with you. And then also communication with your students. That is so important, especially virtually, right? because our students aren't here. We need to know how are they learning what we want them to learn, or are they still struggling? So I'm going to first share two different applications that I have used before. I'm going to be doing a Seesaw training a little bit later today, so I'm not going to go too in depth with this one. But Seesaw is an online journal. It's also a communication system for parents and also students. This is the website. They have made it so simple to sign up and to explain how it works. It's really encouraging. It's easy once you've like dived deep into it. Let me show you what that looks like real fast. All right, I'm a teacher, and so here is Seesaw. The students, they are able to post work. You can assign activities. I'm going to talk about drag and drop activities in a little bit, but you can upload some drag and drop activities into Seesaw and actually record the students' voices while they're using it, so you can see how they're, getting to that solution. You can send announcements, and then there's also an app for parents, so the parents can then see everything. So everything that students post, if you choose to have it go directly to their online journal, the parents will be able to see that immediately, seamless. And then you have Class Dojo. Class Dojo is a classroom management system. It has a lot of amazing features that deal with social emotional learning. Let's see. And then I know for my school this year, what we're doing, we're using it as a whole school. So our administrators are able to send messages and the parents can get them immediately. There's a toolkit here where there's a timer, random chooser, group maker, all of the wonderful things that we need in our classroom, right? So that's Class Dojo. Um, oh, guys, guess what? You got this. Alrighty. So other procedures that I highly encourage you guys to use would be show and tell. And show and tell is huge in primary, right? Especially now because our students aren't able to leave their area to go explore the block area or go explore the arts and crafts or language area, right? Some of us, our procedures include the students are sitting in their tables and they're grabbing a different work bin or things like that. But at the same time, we still have to think about how are we going to acknowledge their learning, right? So here's the scenario. You are working in your classroom and you have like maybe one-on-one time with the student and everyone's and using their different workstation bins, right? Instead of having that student keep raising their hand and saying, Miss, look what I made out of Play-Doh. The kid can't keep that Play-Doh piece together, right? So instead, have them either upload something either to Seesaw or Class Dojo or Flipgrid, and then during the transition from one activity to the other activity, you take time and you share what people have posted that day. You share those responses. And here's the kicker. If you are doing that synchronous, wonderful synchronous uh, teaching, I can't even think right now. If you're doing synchronous learning, then those students who are at home, they can then provide a response. They can post what they're doing. So they will then feel included. And it's going to warm their day. And it's also going to let them realize that, hey, I am a part of that our learning community. Okay. So just show and tell. Now, procedures are huge, right? I'm going to show you something that I used BC before coronavirus. One year I had one of my peers, the position wasn't filled just yet, so I was constantly getting a new substitute. Sorry, I'm losing my thinking. And I wanted to find a system that was easy and not have to pull the sub, to the side and keep telling them, oh, this is what you're going to do. This is here are the kids that you're going to use. So instead, I just made this simple Google slide presentation, and then I embedded the timer. So it would be on my Promethean board, and then I would play the timer. And so if I wanted my students, because some of my students actually like watching the time go, I would make it bigger. And then it would beep at the end. I don't know if it's going to beep for us, but we're not going to wait that long. It will beep, and then that gives the students the signal like, okay, time to clean up. Just food for thought. And then if you keep going, you're going to also get this. You can spruce it up, make it fit whatever you need. You can actually add pictures. You can add the students' names. It's a digital tool. Okay. So that is there. Let's see. Yes, BC before coronavirus. Oh God. Oh goodness. So something else that I found out recently because I love TikTok, and I wanted to share this with you guys because I felt like I'm not doing y'all justice if I do not. So this is called Classroom Screen, and it's wonderful. Let me show you what it can do. And close some of these. All right, so you can change your background in case you don't want the moon, but you can change the background, but that's not really the important things here. The important things are you can come up with a list of your students. You can put your students here, and then you can randomly choose them. All right, let's see, David, it's your turn to participate, right? The next thing we have dice, our dice right here. You can, roll some dice. Yeah, that's fun. If your students are being a little bit too loud, you have your noise meter here. There's a QR code reader for the home screen. Drawing. This is great, especially if you're using like a tablet, or if you're in, primary and you want to teach your kids how to, write, I see, or draw. We have a circle. There's that. Here, wonderful tools, especially whenever you're having quiet time. Hey guys, silence. Okay, now turn to your neighbor and whisper. I know we can't turn to our neighbor and whisper anymore, but because our neighbor should be 6 feet away, right? Ask a neighbor. Okay, guys, work together. So this is pretty cool. The traffic light, if that's your procedure, you could have a calendar here. So if you're doing virtual learning, I mean, this is a great tool, or even in the classroom, have it on your Promethean board, have it on your PowerPoint, or your, not your PowerPoint, your, the thing that's on the ceiling. I can't think. Projector, there you go. All right, and this is what I use in my classroom because I am a virtual teacher. I use the Bitmoji classrooms, but I made it a little bit more functional for me. I find that if we're using Bitmoji classrooms, we have to, the students aren't really, they're missing some of that instruction. So you have to show them how to use everything in the classroom. So if I manipulate it and it's kind of bringing my virtual student into my classroom. So this is how it's set up. Each of these doors I have will be like different groups. So if I click on the door, it will then actually go to my my Google Meet. So I always have the Google Meet link there. And then, so here's my schedule for today, guys, during my small group. Okay, guys, we're going to do the calendar. Then we're going to do a nursery rhyme, some listening activities, and then we're going to say, see ya. So this is actually what my classroom looks like, I promise you. Then I just kind of click through it, and then I do my hello song, and now it's time for us to do our calendar. If I click here at the calendar, I have another freebie that I found on the Bitmoji Craze Facebook group, and this, I really use this in my classroom. Again, remember, some students are not using a Chromebook or a tablet. They might be using a phone. So if you're showing pieces, they might not be able to see it. But if you can present something, then they'll be able to see it. And then you manipulate it. Like I sing my Days of the Week song. I sing my Months of the Year song. If you're doing the months of the year, side note, instead of doing the, January, February, March, and April, have your students do the head, shoulders, knees, and toes while they're doing it. Just food for thought. I love it. January, February, March, and April. And then with the days of the week, if you do the Addams Family days of the week, have your students choose. Do you want to tap your heads today, or do you want to do a rhythm today? Like, how do y'all want to sing your days of the week? Alrighty, so we're still here. I don't want to exit out just yet. And then we're done with our nursery rhyme. Oh, we're going to our nursery rhymes. Now here's colors. Now I'm not going to flip through them fast, but it's the full screen, so it helps my students see like what color is it. Like they have no choice but to see that color, right? I have my shapes. It's the same way. It's the same way. All right, my numbers. They're large because again, my students sometimes are using the phone. And I think that's it. Oh, the LC my sanitizer because you always need sanitizer, right? Okay, so those are just some tools that I use, and now technology doesn't replace instruction. Technology enhances instruction. So when we're using a Bitmoji classroom or anything like that, make sure that we're providing the background knowledge that the students are going to need to actually accomplish that task, right? Don't just give them a classroom with all these links in it. They're going to get lost. So we have to model, we have to use it. All right, so now it's time for my strategies. Whoop, whoop. So instead of purchasing a document camera, you can get this adjustable clamp mount on Amazon. I think I got mine maybe for $20. Now, it's not the phone one. The phone one, if you try to put an iPad or any kind of tablet on it, you might break it. But this one is specifically for tablets, so it's larger. And this is actually a real picture of me and one of my students. Excuse me, I am using it as a document camera. And this is, and I'm also, the app that I'm using is Google Meet. So what I do, I have my computer where I'm interacting, and then I just sign on to that iPad to use it as a document camera. So don't buy a document camera. Now, I do encourage, if you have one at school, use it, obviously. But if you don't have one at school and you have a tablet, use the tablet. They're really important, especially if you're a synchronous teacher, and you have like you're trying to show someone, okay, these are my AirPod case, or if you have the objects and you're trying to show them. Remember, some of our kids might be using phones. They're not going to be able to see it, right? So if you use the tablet as your document camera or a document camera and put it under there, then they'll be able to see it, and everyone in the class will be able to see it, right? Where, sorry, I lost my mouse for a second. So organization is the key. And these are two websites that I absolutely love. Now, if you ever had access to my Google Drive right now, you're going to see all of these templates that I have. And they're probably from one of these. So Slide Mania is one that I am currently using. It's someone created these wonderful slide presentations that you can either use in Google Slides or PowerPoint, and the links are already there. So I use this one for one of my students, and it actually gives you kind of suggestions on how to use it. So you scroll down. Okay, here's what it looks like. All of those are clickable. Do you see that? So what I do, I have my day of the week, and then I just make multiple for the different assignments. There's another Slide Mania presentation. Let me see if I can go back. That kind of has the template that I use. Okay, let me click out that. Sorry. Oh, well, here's the template that I use. And this is based off of one of the Slide Mania presentations. I was selected to be one of the primary camp counselors this summer, and it was virtual, and we were able to do it. And this is kind of like that Bitmoji classroom, but this is how I organized my lesson. So I'm going to just show you a couple of the slides while they load. Okay, so if it was Monday, oh, you see Miss Griffith being obnoxious in her TikTok video right there. But I have my welcome, and in the classroom, it's always good to have a welcome page. Yeah, I don't know why I did that, but it was fun, and it was fun for me. I know it was fun for the kids. This is kind of like we had to do like a daily message. I had my video of instruction, plus I had the lesson. So I'm covering all bases. I'm covering all bases. I want for my visual learners that they just want to follow it. And then I'm also giving them examples of the materials that they're going to need. Then, hey guys, this right here is the opportunity to respond. That's so important. Again, so important. All right, and then I did skip Slides Go. It's just another place for you to find some really cool thematic type slide presentations already made for you. So I'm going to click out of some of these. All right, let's continue. Oh, we already shared that. If you take a screenshot of a worksheet or a file folder, and you can use it as a digital worksheet like this. Now, in here it says to use Scribble, but Scribble's a little difficult for the students. If you have a tablet or even like the Chrome tablet, if you fold it, you can then have the students use their finger and write on it. So if you click there, you'll see how I did that. I just found this tracing and I used it as the background so they can't move that. So anytime that you want to make anything like that, use it as the background so the students can't manipulate it. All right, so food for thought. I just set this, but tired of items on your Google Slide presentation or Google Slide moving, take a screenshot, use it as the background, and then they can't move it. There's another place where you can create digital worksheets, and it's called Teacher Made. You can sign up for it. I thought I already had it queued. So this is what it looks like. So here's that same trace assignment, right? And oh, Amy did a great job tracing. And then once she does it, it will send me a notification and I can grade it or review it. But it's super simple. All you have to then do is click create. Then for the background, that's going to be where you would put your worksheet. And then you would title it and then create the worksheet. Then it's going to prompt you to, okay. It's going to then prompt you, like, let's say, oh, I'm done with it. I'm done. All right. See where it says create an assignment? You would click on that, and then it gives you options using a Google account, or you can use their name, which that's what I use. And then again, I just added their names. So when they are going to use it, so if I went here to get that worksheet, all they have to do is just type their name to get the worksheet. And then here's that beautiful worksheet I just made. Alrighty. Now I'm going to talk about my new love, drag and drop. This just blows my mind. So let me show you. If you find let me show you what a drag and drop is, and I'll show you how to use it. This will use here on either an iPad, Chromebook, or because mice are kind of a little difficult, and all they're going to do is drag. This says put the apples with the letter A in the basket. They're just going to drag and drop it. Drag and drop it. It's like an interactive file folder game. And then what you do once you get the file, you then, if you have Schoology or Canvas, I'm pretty sure there's a procedure of how you can ensure that everyone gets their own copy, and then they do the assignment. Now, I've started to get a little obsessed with these because they're so simple for my students who are 3 years old to use. These right here are some that are free, and when you get the link to the presentation, you will get you'll get the link to get these for free. So no worries. You're going to get this one and this one and this one. This lady right here created a whole curriculum using drag and drop. And let me tell you, she does it by day. So week 1, day 1, week 1, day 2, week 1, day 3, all. And I have it. I did have to purchase that. Yes, you can do now here's the kicker. I just saw someone say that you can use they make their drag and drop in Seesaw. If you have a drag and drop activity, you can go to your Seesaw if you use Seesaw, you can then um, create a Seesaw activity using the drag and drop. All you have to do is add the template and then upload it from your Google Drive. Mind blown. If you go to Seesaw, the training, I'll let you know all about the activities. Now look at this one. This one's so cute. Let me tell you about this one. They're utilizing the things that they've seen probably millions of times. They're they're using and they're teaching prepositions. Woody is behind. Okay, behind, and so on. All right, we are going to keep going and going. Some other strategies that I find that are helpful: always video yourself if you are a virtual teacher and upload them to YouTube and share that with your parents, with whatever learning management system that you're using. You can make a bookmark folder, and let me show you what that looks like. So see all my bookmarks right here. If I right click, I can add folder, and it's over here. Sorry, I have way too many. I'm gonna actually, it says 10 minutes left. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Um, right here. I was looking at the chat, which I should not do. Hold on. My screen just froze. Technology problem. Sorry, guys. I got real excited. See if I can fix this. Okay. We have way too many things open. But anywho, you would just make your folder. And I think my folder, I didn't add the folder. So you go add folder, which it's not showing. Add folder. Oh, you can't see it on here. It's on my other screen, sorry. So let's say TCCA presentation. Okay, so my folder is, I promise it's right here. I just can't find it. So let me just remove one of these so you can then see my folder. Okay, delete. No. Okay, where did my fold? Oh, it's right here. I see it. So then all you have to do is just drag them in. Come on, be nice to me. I'm having some technical difficulties. I think I'm doing too much right now. It happens. Okay. I'm going to drag it into the folder, drag it into the folder, drag it into the folder so I can organize my bookmarks. When I learned this, my mind was blown. And then for all my wonderful friends who like to have 1,000 tabs open, like myself, see here, all you have to do is just say open. Did y'all see the magic? How they're all open now? Mind blown. Okay. So that's that. Let's see. I do apologize if you hear a dog barking. My dog is barking right now. If you're going to use any kind of new app that you find on the tablet or in the Chrome or whatever, always use a gradual release, or first use it as a hook. And then when you want them to use it, then you're going to do the I do and we do and you do so that the students can use them at their individual workstations. Extension that I like to use is the grid view. If you are using Google Meet, it will allow you to kind of see more of your students. If you're doing if you're a virtual teacher and you have your whole group there. Let me keep checking. Questions. There are so many things that I wanted to also share. But so final thoughts, guys. Beyonce wasn't built in a day. So neither is this is virtual learning. We're all a work in progress and we're learning daily. So what I want you guys to just realize is that we're in this together. We are going to be the Harry Wangs of the future because this has never happened before. And people are going to write books about us and they're going to say, hey, this book is by Miyaka Griffith and she, they can, oh, here we go. let me give you the presentation. Here's the copy of it. This is how you get the presentation. You go to this bit.ly right here. Bit.ly copy of Teach It Tech in the Primary Classroom. Sorry, guys. I had too much fun. But do y'all have it? Do y'all have it? Can you? And then, so all of that links, all of the links are going to be, hold on. So the links are going to, everything, once you get the copy of the presentation, all those links are going to work. And I'm going to show you, it will show you in the presentation on where to get those activities. Oh, thank you, Miss Willa. Shout out to my principal.
Oh,
Where
that's
can we find the videos? Sorry, yeah. Hopefully, because I'm looking at the time, it's 9:46. We have 5 more minutes or 4 more minutes.
We do, but I want to give out the information that they're going to need so that we don't miss out that information, because they are here to learn, but also to make sure that they receive the credit that is necessary to get. So thank you all so much for being present today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Miyaka, you have done a fabulous job. I'm so in awe of what you've done this morning. We have some new sessions that'll be starting pretty soon, and we wanted to make sure that we give an opportunity to recognize this great presenter. I had the pleasure of being with her for another couple of sessions, so if you're ready, stay tuned and stay here. But our super secret word is learn. And yes, it is case sensitive. So make sure you write down that super secret word and have it ready and available when you're getting to get your certificates. So you should have been receiving your certificates via email at the end of the sessions, and this password is the password for you to be able to get what you need. Again, that super secret word is learn, and it is case sensitive. So I'm going to let our great presenter with technology and primary classroom close us out. We have about another few minutes or so that she is present and available. And I do see that my co-host has arrived, and I'm very glad to see her. I'm going to pop her in just so that she can say hello today.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you so much, Miss Grace, for being
I'm
present.
Paulette and I'm a special ed teacher at Vines EC Pre-K.
And you are so right. Awesome job. And I did not introduce myself. Oh my goodness. I am Tamara Gibson. I'm one of the DLSs here helping to put on this great conference. We are so excited and we're thankful for you being present. And I'm going to drop out of here and let our presenter do her thing on the end.
All right, guys. I hope that you had fun. I'm just checking the chat real quick, and so someone asked about the activities. They are linked in the copy of this presentation. My eyes were tearing up because this is wonderful. Like this is a blessing. So I'm so happy that like y'all came. Remember that we're all in this together, and I really hope that you have at least one strategy that you're going to use, and I hope I didn't overwhelm anybody. So sorry. And remember, the secret word is learn. We are learning today. Yes. Oh, thank y'all so much. I have 2 more presentations I'm doing, Seesaw, and I'm also doing Go Doodle, which will be next. So this will be fun because we're going to be moving in our groups, right? And shout out to early childhood, special education teachers. Excuse me. Oh, that's so inappropriate. I'm sorry. Shout out to all my primary teachers. We are all in this together, right? All in this together. I should break out into song, but I will spare y'all. Oh, I lost my screen. Where'd it go? There it is. Alrighty. Thank y'all so much. Thank you so much. This is wonderful. Oh my! And remember, if you can't attend, I think they'll probably be on YouTube eventually because they're all being streamed. The new way forward. Awesome. Thank y'all for coming and spending time with me. Thank y'all. Thank
And
y'all.
yes, it is a new way forward. We are in our new normal, and we just want to thank you again for being present. You all have a great rest of your day. Please, please, please come back and see her. She's doing a great, fabulous job. And I know if you are a seesaw person and you're a gold noodle, she's ready to present today. So let's go, let's go, let's go. Thank you.
Bye, guys.